Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Vicky's World. I'm Vicky, and in this video I'm going to do an update on my weight loss journey with Slimming World. So the last one I did was on the 13th of July, so I'm just going to go back to that date. I've got my book, so I am going to go through that and hopefully it will all make sense. So I'm sorry about the angle, I've just changed it a little bit, but I've got to prop my back up because my back is really sore. But yeah, excuse the state of me, I'm not doing very good at the moment, but I wanted to sit down because it's been quite a while and just get everything up to date, and then hopefully I can start doing just shorter weekly weigh-in updates if that's something that you guys would like to see. If you'd rather me do it weekly, please let me know in the comments down below, because you know, if you'd rather me do it monthly all at once, I can do it monthly all at once, or if you prefer it weekly, then I will try my utmost hardest to do it. So yeah, let me know. So I'm going to go back then to the 13th of July. That would have been a couple of days after weigh-in, I think. So I'll go back to the 9th of July and just talk about those results, and then I'll just go through weekly up until where we are now. So on the 9th of July I lost 2.5 pounds, and then that put me at 4 stone 8.5 pounds lost. Then it was the 16th of July, that was my next weigh-in, and I stayed the same. Then the 23rd of July, I lost a pound, so I was at 4 stone 9.5 pounds. Then the 30th of July, which was also Star Week, I lost another pound, which I was quite shocked with because, you know, I never, looking through my book, I either gain a pound or I stay the same. So yeah, that was really good. And then that meant that I'd lost 4 stone 10.5. Then on the 6th of August, I actually put on 2.5 pounds, which, yeah, you know, it is what it is. So that put me back down to 4 stone 8. Yeah, 4 stone 8. That week, on the Saturday, we went to Barry Island, which it is near us, but we are quite far from it, if that makes sense. So by train, we take a train to Cardiff and then a train down to Barry. So that weekend on the Saturday, it was sort of a spur of the moment thing. We decided to go down there. I've got my mobility scooter, so we just went down and it was really lovely. I was off plan. I did try and make good choices, but as more as the day went on, I didn't, and then we had takeaway when we come home. So 2.5 pounds, it is what it is. Perhaps it shouldn't have been that much, but you know, gotta keep going. Then the 13th of August, which was last week, I stayed the same, which I was a bit gutted about, but I'll talk more about that in a sec. And then this week I lost half a pound, so I'm back to 4 stone 8.5. So in the last month I haven't really lost anything, but I haven't gained anything. So yeah, that's, I don't know, I suppose that's a good thing, isn't it? I haven't gained anything. So the last week I was hoping for a little bit of a loss, just something to get the start of my gain back off. I have had my medication changed and reviewed. So at the moment I'm weaning off of amitriptyline, and I have been increased on pregabalin due to my pain, because I had a medicine review with a doctor and she was so nice. So what we talked about is, before, you know, we can go to stronger sort of stronger solutions then for my pain, we need to sort of work through and see if there's anything that will help beforehand, which makes total sense. But I just want something to, you know, I just want something straight away. But that's not how it works. So with upping the pregabalin, so I now take 200 in the morning and 200 at night, and I believe the highest dose is 600 a day. I'm sure, sorry, I just need a drink. I'm sure that's what she said to me, but it can go up anyway. And she's weaning me off the amitriptyline because, from what I understand, is amitriptyline it interacts with a lot of other medication. So by weaning me off of that and taking me off of that, there's more options available. It wasn't really doing anything anyway, so there's no point putting something into my body that's not really helping. So I'm weaning off of that. I've got to go back in a few weeks. So yeah, my medication was changed, so that can always have an effect. And I haven't been doing good. I've been in like a flare for the last, I'd say, couple of months really. But it's been really bad the last month, 6 weeks. It's been quite bad. I'm having pain back in my legs again, which is an horrific pain, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So yeah, I was a bit gutted that I only lost half this week. I won't say only lost half, because half, if you look at half a pound of butter, it's quite a lot. But yeah, I keep going to class. I keep struggling to get to class. I had a really bad day in class yesterday. Well, all day really. It's Wednesday today, by the way. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's Wednesday, sorry. It's Wednesday the 21st today. Yeah, sorry, I get mixed up. So I was in a bad way with my pain and my fatigue. But I still went. My best friend, she said, why don't you just stay at home, stay in bed, don't force yourself to get up. But I want to save the days that I don't go to class for the days where I physically can't do it. So if my fatigue is that bad that I'm just falling asleep and I literally would not be able to function, or if my pain is that bad that I literally can't get out of bed and I can't walk. So, I want to not make myself accountable. What I want to do is keep an eye on things, which I've said before. I don't want to not go and then it sort of get into a place where I'm too afraid to go back because I may have gained weight, or my journey's not going the way that I want it to, and I don't want that to happen. I just want to keep an eye on things, and if that's the way that it's got to be for me at the moment, and things just go like this and I sort of lose half a pound and here and there, and you never know, like in a couple of weeks it may sort of whoosh and I may get a good £5 loss, which I've got in the past when I've gone through sort of smaller losses for a few weeks. And if that's the way that it's got to work, then it's annoying, but at least I'm not gaining. I'm keeping an eye on things. I've still lost I've still lost 4.5 stone, well over 4.5 stone, which is a lot of weight to lose. And sometimes I need to remind myself of that, because I'm quite guilty of thinking of things in the long term rather than thinking about what I've achieved, and instead of where I've got to go and how much further I've got to go, I need to think more about where I've got to and how far I've got, if that makes sense. So yeah. That's where I'm up to on my weight loss. So it's been a bit of a bumpy road the last few weeks, but I've been going to group. Even if it is a real struggle for me to stay, my consultant knows that, even when she spoke to me yesterday, she said that, she knows that I was struggling, but, it's just, I still come and I still face it unless I physically can't. So that's where I am, 4 stone, 8.5 pounds lost, which I am really, really thrilled with. Don't get me wrong, I just feel like I'm chasing that 5 stone award for like forever, but it'll come. And I'm really not well, and at the moment I'm extremely unwell. Yeah, that's weird. With my pain and fatigue and like my mixing up words. If you've been with me a long time, you'll know what fibro does to me, and it's really kicking my butt at the moment. But I'll get there, and I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm making sure that when I batch cook, so I've got portions of food that I can go and, the days where I literally can't really do anything, I can go, there's something in the fridge, I can pop it in the microwave, warm it up, and I've got a meal. You know, whether or not I add extra speed with it, or, you know, salad or veg or whatever, I'd much rather, and you'll see from my food diaries that sometimes I don't have speed, or I just have the portion of what I've got, which has got a ton of speed food in it, but I don't put speed food on the side, is literally because just to do that has taken sort of all my energy, and it's better for me to have that and not have the speed food but be on plan. So yeah, that's another way that I cope. I've also got some Slimming World meals in the freezer, which are my sort of go-to emergency meals. So on those days where I can't just, you know, because I have to get the food out of the tub and put in a plate, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when, you know, when you're in chronic pain and, you know, you've got the fatigue and you're struggling just to stand up and all that, sometimes that can just be something enough to push you over the edge. So with those meals, I can just literally pull them out of the freezer, take the thing off, stab it, chuck it in and leave it, and then I know I've got a meal, which I normally eat out of the plastic container because, again, it's less steps for me and I can just eat, and I know that I'm eating something on plan. I'm not having a takeaway or anything. So I hope all that makes sense. And if anyone watching has a chronic illness, I have fibromyalgia along with mental health issues as well. I do have other sort of autoimmune things going on as well. But you know, if you have any tips that I've not already talked about, please let me know in the comments. You know, it would be lovely to talk to you. Yeah, I think Tyrion's going to jump out now because he can hear the cat. Yeah, there he goes. Oh, they're like two little kids. Yeah, if you've got any tips or anything, please let me know down below, and you know, we can talk to each other and we can support each other. Come on then, he's coming back now. He's so funny. So yeah, that's where I'm at food wise, and like I said, with my health, I have had a medicine review. My pregabalin has been upped. She said still carry on with the tramadol, even though I don't feel like it really does match. It probably does, and I just don't realise. So I've got to go back in a few weeks. I need to book the appointment to go and discuss all that. I've got a doctor's no, I haven't. I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, which I'm really anxious about. I hate the dentist, but I've been putting it off for over a year now. Yeah, I've been putting it off for almost a year now, so I've got to go. Otherwise they're going to kick me off the list and I'll be back to where I started. So yeah, I've got that tomorrow. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I will update you. My mental health, a couple of weeks ago I was in a really bad place with my depression because of my legs. That is one of the worst pain that I have with this fibro. You know, it's bad everywhere. You know, when I get it in like my chest and my back and that, but I seem to be able to cope with that easier than I can with the pain in my legs, because when my legs it starts off burning, like a burning tingling. It's nerve pain, and it's very difficult to try and stop nerve pain unless you're on like specific meds. And obviously my pregabalin isn't really cutting it at the moment. But then again, what is it masking that I don't know about? But you know, it'll be burning, then it'll be like a stabbing pain, slicing pain, like, and I know it sounds dramatic, but it feels like I just want to rip my legs off because I can't physically deal with the pain anymore. It's like it doesn't stop. You sit down, you lie down, lie on your side, lie on the other side, lie on your back front. It just doesn't do anything. And then I end up taking my painkillers that I need to, plus then using my ibuprofen gel, like just rubbing it all in my legs to try and get some relief. And you know, obviously that made my depression bad. So I was just in a really bad place, and I was like, what's the point? Why do I just, you know, I just basically at that time I was just like, oh, I just don't want to go on, because if I've got to deal with this pain every day, I can't. And then thankfully the following day it dialed itself down, so that was good. Because I don't think I could have taken another day like that, because it was really, really bad. But you know, even like, you know, walking or moving, nothing was helping, nothing was touching it. So yeah, that's my health. If anyone else has got any more specific questions, please let me know again, in the comments down below. I apologise if I ramble and I repeat myself. I know I do it, but I can't stop myself from doing it. And again, sometimes I forget what I've said. So I do repeat myself, so please bear with me. I think that's it in relation to, you know, like I said, my health and my weight loss. This week I've got a pasta bake that I made in the fridge that failed a bit. It still tastes nice, it looks a bit of a mess, really. And I have got some risotto left. I think I've got at least 2 big portions left of that in the fridge. I've got chicken thighs which I need to cook today. I was going to try and do something fancy with them, but my mum said, look, you know, don't try and do too much. Why don't you just, like, because I need to take the skin off. Once you've taken the skin off, put them on the tray and just put different, like, spices on them and herbs. So I'm going to do like garlic one, barbecue, different things. So they've got flavours on them. And then I can just put them with, you know, with something, or I can snack on them. And that makes, you know, that does make more sense. It's a lot easier. I can just put them in the oven and forget about them until I need to take them out. And then I've got some pork chops I think I'm going to have for tea tonight. And then the rest can go in the freezer. So yeah, I've got loads of meals. My best friend, love her, she cooks, when she cooks her meals, she always makes me a portion as well. So she gave me stew, cottage pie or shepherd's pie, and hunter's chicken yesterday. So they're all in the freezer. I've got campfire stew, I think, the lentil dal. You know, there is a lot of stuff here, but I always like to, you know, mix things up to make sure that I don't get bored. But I always try and do things that are easily put into portions, can be batch cooked, and then either kept in the fridge or the freezer. So yeah. Oh gosh, I've rambled on for 18 minutes already. So I'm going to talk about something else, which is it is Slimming World related. Something that happened last week actually, and only now I'm getting around to it because I've had a really bad week with my pain. But I don't know if you're aware, but recently, over the last couple of weeks, Slimming World have been talking about Woman of the Year. And Woman of the Year is an award that is given out by Slimming World in your Slimming World class, where everybody that attends your class has the opportunity to vote for a woman at your class that inspires you. It's not about weight loss. It's about what, like I said, what inspires you. You know, why you think that they should win that award. And you know, it's I never really thought about it before, but you know, Slimming World looks at it as a very special award then. And I was nominated, which I was totally blown away by. I never expected it. I was so honoured to be even just nominated, to think that people, you know, look up to me, and you know, that I inspire them in some way, whatever that way is. So yeah, I was nominated that week, and then I didn't realise, but I was asked by my consultant to do a speech or my story, and that's where I kind of fell apart a bit, because my anxiety raised its ugly head and started telling me, you can't do this, you're not good enough, why have you been chosen, you shouldn't have been chosen, you don't deserve it, blah 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 blah, you're going to mess it up, you're not going to win, etc etc. Anxiety is so evil. So I made myself a little bit ill over that. Then I had to write out this speech, and which I did with the help of my husband. I sort of talked about it and he typed it out, because my hands, I can't type for long. All right, so done that, got it ready, was obsessing over this the night before, which was last week, which was the 13th of August, and I was just obsessing over it, and I felt sick beforehand. I really felt like I could go into the toilet and be sick, and my anxiety, I was shaking, I had pins and needles, and it was awful, and I don't know why. I know all these people. My best friend was nominated as well, which was really lovely, and she sat by me, and even though she was anxious herself, because she suffers with anxiety too, she made sure I was okay, and that meant so much to me. So we sat on these chairs in front of everybody, out the front of the class, and I went last. I think my consultant did that. It's like did it in that alphabetical order, because she could see how wound up I was, basically, because I get so nervous, and having to talk in front of people. So eventually got to me, and when she said to me, right, okay, because obviously the alphabet is your turn, I just burst up crying. And if anybody asks me this question, why did you do that? I don't know. I don't know why I did, but I think possibly it was the anxiety just got to a point where I couldn't hold it in anymore, and it just came all bubbling out. So my consultant, she said, can you do it? I said, I just need a minute, I just need a second. So I took about 30 seconds, a minute, just to ground myself, to try and ground myself, take a few deep breaths and start. So I haven't really got a speech to read out, because what I did, or what my husband did for me, is he took bits and pieces from what I was saying, and then I sort of referenced them. Some of it, they were sentences, and I did read out. But a lot of it was sort of just jogging my memory on what had happened. But the gist of it was I talked about how I walked into my first Living Will class, 2007, just after I got married, and I met my consultant then, and I've known her ever since. I've been back and forth, and different things, but this last year, when I rejoined last October, I've sort of, my switch has been flipped, and this is what I talked about throughout what I was saying, throughout my story, was talking about the switch flipping in my head. So when I went in 2007, my switch was flipped on, and I was determined, and I lost pretty much 5 stone on the old green plan and red plan. And I was talking about making sure that this switch stayed on, and after my consultant unfortunately closed that class, change is not good for me, so I sort of went down that slope, and I ended up not going back, and different things. So along the years, I then found my way back there. My best friend goes there, and she's just so important to me on this journey as well. So I didn't look up from my phone. I was just sitting like this, not watching. And my friend, she said to me that everyone was basically bawling, which I didn't mean to do. But I'm consultant as well, and I felt like I was going on for ages, like what I was talking about. But I put my head up and said to my consultant, am I going on too long? And she had like tears full down face. She had no carry on. So like I explained, you know, about my illnesses and everything, and how, you know, I've kept going even when I don't want to, because, you know, I feel so ill. I've come so close to just giving up again, but that switch is on. And because that switch is on, no matter what happens to me or what happens along my journey, I'm going to keep going and just keep plodding on. And that's why, you know, half pound, stay the same, you know, etc., etc. I'm keeping an eye on this for my health as well, so that I don't go back up. And, you know, it was just like, it was so emotional. Oh, and then, you know, I basically like sobbed all the way through it. How they understood what I was saying, I don't know. But my class is so lovely. And yeah, so after I finished my story, everyone clapped, and, you know, my consultant said, you know, viewed everybody's stories, and she said a little bit, and then we sat down and they counted everything out. So I was sitting there feeling sick. Like I said, my best friend, she was like holding my hand. She's saying, oh, you know, because she was saying for the whole 2 weeks, you've got it, you're going to do it, you were going to get it, and you were going to win. And I was like, nah, it's not going to happen to me. But it did. I got Woman of the Year for my class, and I just broke down crying again. So this is the certificate. I still can't believe it over a week later. But yeah, it's so special. And I also got a little, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if I got it in camera. I can't see. But yeah, I got a sticker for my book. And I also got a sash. Let me see if I can, there we go. So yeah, I was completely overwhelmed, utterly like gobsmacked. I honestly didn't think that I would be lucky enough to get it, and, you know, it was such an honour. And then afterwards, then, you know, class finished, and the amount of people who come up to me, talking to me, and, you know, touching me and crying and just saying that I deserved it, well done, and, you know, it was so deserved, and you smashed it, and, you know, oh, it was overwhelming. It was so lovely. And, you know, there was people that came and talked to me about themselves and how I inspire them, because, you know, I'm showing that even though I have all these illnesses and I fight my battles every day, I still keep going, and I still do what I can to keep my journey as my journey. But like I said, my switch is on, and it's gonna stay on. I've got a determination to get where I need to go, or where I want to go. It's just gonna take a bit longer. So yeah, I'm Woman of the Year for my class. I was like I say, my friend, my best friend, she's more like a sister to me. She was up with me, and, you know, her face when my consultant said I'd won, it was so lovely, because like she literally looked like she'd won the lottery. She was so proud and so happy, and I've never had that, you know, from my family, yeah, but, you know, from friends then, or that I had, I've never had that. And it's just nice to know that I've got a friend like that. And yeah, I don't want to start getting all emotional, but I will try and sort of insert a picture at the end. This is over, it's going to be over 30 minutes now, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I just wanted to get it all out. It's all done, so you can so that I can show you my certificate, and, you know, tell you a bit more about it. And I did have a crown as well, which is over there somewhere, and a lovely bunch of red roses. My nose always goes red when I become a bit emotional. And it was bright red on the pictures. But I had a nice bouquet of red roses. They are my favourite. And a crown, like a paper crown. So I had that on, and we had some photos taken, and I hate my photo being taken anyway, but yeah, it was lovely. So yeah, that's it really. I don't think I've got to talk about anything else. You're probably thinking, thank goodness for that, because it's already half hour long. But yeah, thank you if you've got this far. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your support, and just keeping with me, and helping me get through things and talk things out when I need to. It really does help. Thank you for commenting on my videos, and liking my videos, subscribing, and if you're not yet subscribed, press the subscribe button down here somewhere. Come along on my journey with me, and we can support each other along the way. I like to support you guys as well, so if you want to talk or anything at all, just let me know, and yeah, we can have a chat. So excuse me, sorry, let me know how you all are doing, how you all are, and yeah, take care everyone, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone.